There's a room in this city I've never set foot in. No cameras. No invitations sent by email. You don't apply to get in. You get mentioned into it. And every deal that's changed my life in the last 20 years started with someone in that room saying my name when I wasn't there to defend it. That's what nobody tells you about wealth. You think it's built in boardrooms. It's not. It's built in the 5 minutes before the boardroom. In the hallway, at the bar, on the golf course, in a text that says, "You should meet my friend." Everyone's out here optimizing their resume. Meanwhile, the people who actually run this world stopped competing for opportunities a long time ago. They just started sitting closer to where opportunities are born. So today, I'm not going to tell you how to network. Everybody's told you that. Collect business cards, follow up in 48 hours, add value first. That's kindergarten. I'm going to tell you how the wealthy actually think about relationships and why most people's networks are worth less than they think, no matter how many contacts they have. Let's kill a myth first. A big network is not a valuable network. I know men with 10,000 LinkedIn connections who couldn't get a $2 million loan approved by Friday. And I know a woman, quiet, almost invisible online, who can call 4 people and have a factory in Vietnam retooled by Monday. She has maybe 60 real relationships. He has 10,000 digital nods. There's a sociologist named Ronald Burt who spent his career studying this. His research on what he called structural holes found something the wealthy have always known instinctively. Ronald Burt has argued that it is not the size of a person's social network that matters most, but rather their position within the network. The people who profit most aren't the ones who know everyone. They're the ones who sit between groups that don't otherwise talk to each other. The bridge, not the hub. Think about that. You don't need 1,000 contacts. You need to be the only person 3 different rooms have in common. That's leverage. That's a moat nobody can copy, because it's not about who you know, it's about where you sit. Here's something I wish someone had told me at 25. Relationships compound exactly like money does. And most people withdraw before they've let anything accumulate. You meet someone interesting at a dinner. You have one good conversation. You never speak again. That relationship just died in infancy. All potential, zero yield. Meanwhile, the men I respect most in this business have relationships that are 15, 20 years deep. They didn't need anything from that person for the first 10 years. They just kept showing up, kept being useful, kept being present without an agenda. Napoleon Hill wrote about this concept of the mastermind almost a century ago. The idea that 2 or more minds working together in harmony toward a common goal create a force greater than the sum of the individuals. What he understood, and what most people skip past because it sounds like an old motivational line, is that the wealth isn't in the meeting, it's in the sustained alliance. A mastermind isn't a networking event. It's a marriage of ambition. I have 4 men I speak to every single week. Not about business most weeks, about problems, about fears, about what we're each afraid we're getting wrong. That circle has made me more money than any deal I've ever signed. Because when I'm about to make a mistake, one of them catches it before I do. Here's the split that separates the 2 mindsets. Most people build relationships that make them feel good. They surround themselves with people who nod, who agree, who tell them the business idea is brilliant, the risk is worth it, the timing is right. The wealthy do the opposite. We collect people who will tell us the truth even when it costs them the relationship. I don't keep people around me who validate me. I keep people around me who correct me. Because your network isn't just your opportunity pipeline, it's your risk management system. Thomas Stanley spent decades studying self-made millionaires for his research on American wealth. And one of his findings cuts right through the fantasy people have about rich social circles. Many self-made millionaires did not build their fortunes through inherited social status or elite connections, but through disciplined habits and relationships built on trust and long-term reciprocity rather than glamour. The picture people have, velvet ropes, yacht clubs, secret handshakes, that's not where the money actually gets made. It gets made in unglamorous, repeated trust, built one kept promise at a time. So ask yourself honestly, is your circle full of people who make you feel comfortable or people who make you accurate? Everyone's heard give value first. Fine, true, but shallow, the way most people apply it. Real relational wealth isn't built by giving people what they ask for. It's built by giving people what they didn't know they needed, before they needed it. I don't wait for a friend to ask for an introduction. I make it before they even know the door exists. I don't wait for someone to ask for advice. If I see the mistake coming, I say something, even if it's uncomfortable, even if it costs me the appearance of being agreeable. That's the real ROI mechanism, not transactional generosity, the kind that keeps score. Structural generosity, the kind that makes you the person others build their plans around, because they trust that when they can't see around the corner, you will. Every man in my circle who's worth more than $50 million operates this way. None of them network like they're closing a sale. They network like they're building an institution, one that outlives the individual transaction, and often outlives them. Here's the final shift, and it's the one that separates people who network well from people who become unignorable. At a certain point, you stop trying to get into rooms, and you start building your own. That dinner I mentioned at the start, I didn't get invited to it for the first 11 years of my career. I started it. 6 people, then 10, then it became something people quietly asked to be included in. Nobody made me the center of it. I just kept showing up first, staying last, and making sure everyone in that room left having gained something from being there. That's the real endgame of wealthy networking. Not access, architecture. You go from being someone who needs the room to being the reason the room exists. So here's what I want you to sit with tonight. Stop counting your contacts. Start asking who would notice, truly notice, if you disappeared tomorrow. Not who would like a post, who would pick up the phone, because that's the actual balance sheet nobody shows you. Money moves fast, and it moves toward relationships long before it moves toward resumes. The wealthy didn't get rich and then build a network. They built the right network, small, honest, deeply loyal, and the wealth was simply what followed. The room isn't closed, it's just quiet. And quiet rooms only open for people who've learned how to be trusted in silence. Build the room. The money will find its way to the door. Don't forget to subscribe to this channel, like the video, and drop a comment below. See you in the next one.